Hey, what's up, everybody? We are here to talk about the Nintendo Switch 2, which just launched. Both me and Mark have gotten ours and played around with it. Played with a bunch of features, some of the games that got some updates to them. We both got a Pro controller. We tested out a bunch of stuff, played Mario Kart World. What's kind of your first thoughts with getting it? Seeing it, opening it up, experience with it and everything.
I mean, the first it's a better Switch essentially, which is kind of what we expected and really all we really needed. I
Yeah.
don't think it's going to be the whole Wii U thing. I don't get the same feel from that either from the market side or just how it works. But it's more powerful, it's larger, it's a bigger screen. My just the first hands on before I even turned it on, or as I was messing with it to swap over my data from the Switch to the Switch 2, mainly was that it just felt like a higher quality
Yeah.
Switch. Not only is it larger, but it didn't feel as flimsy or as plasticky. I know some
Right.
people may have some issues here or there with it, but large, I think it feels better,
Yep.
because obviously it's got the pins in the back, so you don't just yank it off, it's still locked in place.
Yeah, the
And I haven't
magnetic.
played with it handheld enough to where you sometimes on the original Switch, if you one-handed it, sometimes you could feel it felt like it was hitting on that rail and it
Yeah.
wasn't, like, really firm grasp.
Yeah.
That was, like, the immediate then you turn it on and it runs fast, runs smooth. It's y I would like a little bit more from the UI, but at least it's cleaner, it runs faster, the
Yeah.
store runs faster, all these other things. So my first hands was like, "Oh, yeah, it's better." And then obviously some of the games, Mario Kart World runs fine, looks great. I absolutely loved it, the hour or 2 that I had to play it, and then the only other game well, I guess there's 2 other games I got hands on. Obviously the updated version for, Pokémon Scarlet and Violet,
Yeah.
and that game doesn't chug along at all
It,
anymore. It
it
actually
does it,
runs
it
how it should.
runs like a real like Pokemon game now. It's I have to praise the update for this because I was like, I'm having fun. I played 2 hours of it really early this morning. I woke up at like
Like,
4:30
have a
a.m.
reason to
and
go back and actually I mean,
yes,
the problem is I completed the Pokédex on those games.
you did?
So I oh, yeah, forever ago.
I thought you didn't
Oh,
even
not forever ago,
really
the
play
last few
the
months.
games. I thought you were like, I didn't like them.
I
And
went back a few months ago and just started replaying them to move over the Pokemon for my
huh.
living decks in Pokemon Home, and then I was kinda like, "Ugh,
My
this isn't
buddy
like I'm playing, like, Heart Gold or Platinum where you need, like, 3 different game versions to complete the Pokédex because you have to transfer so many in, it's kind of a nightmare at times." Uh,
Joshua that's in the Game Junction Lounge, he just sent me a picture earlier that he got a Mew and a Jirachi sent to him, which is
that's
crazy.
dope. I haven't messed with the trading, and obviously, all the like, a lot of most if not all the mythicals and a lot of the previous legendaries, which you can at least get, I think they're shiny locked in this version of the game.
Yeah, I think
But
so.
they don't count towards the Pokédex. So I there's content technically that I haven't done, but I completed all 3 of the Pokédexes in that game at the very least.
Wow. I haven't finished, but I caught like 7 new Pokemon that I didn't have this morning. Just random ones.
Yeah.
So like I was just playing around, grinding a little bit. One of my Pokemon's a little bit weaker, so I was trying to grind him up a little bit, send him out, fighting all the Pokemon, and it was fun just running around and like it felt good. Like we were pretty skeptical on the update. Like I was like very unsure if it was going to be good, but yeah, I mean it's great. And so I also downloaded just before this, so I only got to play like 15 minutes, to be fair, of Tears of the Kingdom. I downloaded the Nintendo Switch 2 edition version of it with the update, and felt great. I mean, it felt better. It felt like kind of the game that it should have been. Now, to be fair, I had already put 255 hours into that game, and I thought it was, had some of the frame rate issues and stuff like that here and there. It wasn't terrible. It wasn't unplayable, but now it just feels like the game it should have been, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
It just feels better. Like it controls better. The frame rate's better. It just looks a little bit better. So that was cool to see. I also put in Cyberpunk and played about an hour of it, and I was thoroughly surprised. I thought it was great. I thought it looked great to me. I bought it on the PS4, played it on the PS5 because for some reason they didn't put out PS5 or Series X version when it launched. And to me, this felt like a better experience than playing that one for the first time. I actually think it looks great and controls well. I tried it in performance mode and quality mode. Both were good. I prefer the performance mode. You know, obviously having the frame rate prioritized, but I tried both and both were great. And the quality looked good. 4K looked good. I played on the 4K monitor. It looked great. Um, yeah, I mean, you know, it's awesome. So I'll show.
Yeah, and
I
I guess the I don't because I know you had a little bit of chance of, but obviously you have to have the Switch 2 to play the GameCube
yes, yeah.
on NSO, and that was I don't have the controller. I was using my Pro. Of the
Oh,
3 games that, yeah, as you showed on screen, of the 3 games that I that were on there, I only played one, and that was the F-Zero GX.
yeah.
And by God, is that game brutal! I only played
It
like the
is
novice of the
fast.
first GP, and there were sometimes I was doing really well, and then you got spun out essentially, and then
Yeah.
you're at the back of the pack immediately, and it's really hard. So I was like, outside of that, it was a really fun game, really challenging
The
game.
Nintendo Switch 2 launch day, I streamed for the longest time I've ever streamed in my life, which was like 8 hours. Took a break. I mean, I
Long
had like a
stream.
break in between, a short, very short, like 20-minute break. But we played like an hour of Soul Calibur 2 and then turned on F-Zero and played probably like half an hour of that. And I mean, they need to bring that franchise back because the Fast Fusion game that came out that's $15 is actually really really fun. It's a great budget game. It's obviously heavily inspired by F-Zero. Plays just like it. Um and yeah, I mean it just proves that we need a new F-Zero game. Yeah, they're brutal, but they're
Because
they're meant to be fast and they're meant to be different. They're not I feel like the Nintendo is like, oh, we have Mario Kart, we don't want to compete with that. They're entirely different games.
yeah, one's more
Entirely.
of like a party-esque game. One is like a challenging
Really hard.
racing game.
Yeah,
Because
they're difficult.
what GX is really like the last legit F-Zero game we got, and that was on the GameCube in 2003 when it came out.
Yeah. Yeah.
Obviously, you've had 99 and Zero
99's
Climax
great,
came out on
but
the
it,
GBA
it's not a
before,
it's not a full game, it's an online only
mainline
game.
game, like GX was really that, and then growing up, I think I had F-Zero Maximum Velocity for the GBA and stuff like
Yeah, I
that,
did
but
too. Yeah. Yeah. But for me, obviously, I talked about Cyberpunk. I got the physical here of that. But the game I play the most of on the Switch 2 is Rune Factory Guardians of Azuma. I've got like 8 hours into it already. And I think it's great. I think it's a great launch title game. It plays and feels well. I'm already a big fan of the Rune Factory games. I know you picked your first one up recently, right? For the
I think,
3DS.
yeah, it was one of the 3DS games
Yeah, I've
that
been
I
playing.
got.
I've been playing them from the beginning, and I absolutely love them. So this is another great entry in the series, and played a lot of it. They're a harvest. They're essentially a Harvest Moon RPG game. So you both have the RPG fighting, but you also have the Harvest Moon elements to it. So it's a pretty interesting game. But I also got the Pro controller, and I know you got that as well.
Yeah.
And then I was just gonna show the box for the Mario Kart
Yeah,
edition.
unfortunately, I got the same box, the one with the sticker on it, so
Yeah, I wanted the one where it was actually on the box, but that didn't happen. But I saw a lot of
that's
people
still worth
taking
it to get
pictures
the
of just this side. Like a lot of people take because it just this side looks better than this side for some reason.
yeah,
Um,
especially since it's not the art isn't baked into the box itself by default.
yeah, yeah, definitely interesting. But I mean, yeah, so I got my camera today, which I think I can kind of show here. It's closed. It has this thing where you can open it up, close it, which is pretty
Oh,
cool.
yeah.
So you don't have to worry about anybody spying on you. Nintendo's not gonna be spying on you. But yeah, I mean, I'm definitely impressed with the system. I think it's great. I've had a great time with it so far. Time we spent, we're actually as of this recording, right after we're going to be streaming Mario Kart for a while, and yeah, I've had a lot of fun with it, man, and I think it's great. Anything else that you kind of want to say about it, or?
I pretty much got my initial thoughts and a lot of I still need more hands on with it. Oh,
Yeah,
excuse me. And then I mean, I'm sure moving forward, but it's a more powerful Switch, so I'm content with that.
What do you think about the handheld versus docked mode? Since you tested them both out.
The problem was I haven't gamed on the handheld mode, but from what I saw
Oh,
with
you
the
didn't
handheld,
try
just
handheld at
moving
all
around the
yet?
menu. No, I
Oh,
unfortunately
okay.
I was playing it on my PC monitor, so
I mean, yeah, that's why I got hooked up to as well.
like I've had it for a few hours, so it's kind of like limited. And I wasn't trying to do all this other stuff. I didn't try to take a hammer to it to test its durability or something like that. So
No, I was just kind of I checked out I to be fair, I only played like an hour handheld. But I wanted to obviously test that out and test the screen out
yeah,
and stuff like that. And I guess my biggest complaint, obviously you got a bigger screen. It looks good and it's a better LCD screen than what we had. It's a way better LCD screen than what we had in like the Switch 1, original Switch 1. But in comparison, when I was looking at the OLED, the screen still looks better on the OLED, which is kind of a disappointment. But I think potentially down the line they're going to make an OLED model. It
yeah.
might
But even with it
happen.
still being the LCD, it still looks better than the original LCD on
It
the
looks better
Switch.
than the
It's a
original for
massive
sure.
upgrade.
Yeah, massive upgrade. And
Like
LCD
you've had like a
technology has
decade.
gotten better. So
Yeah, over like the last 10 years, the LED, LCD, and the OLED technology all gets better. So it's like the OLED will always be better, but it's this version of the screen isn't bad.
what do you think? I guess I should ask you, what do you think about the Joy Cons now versus the old ones, as far as how they feel and
They feel less cheap, I guess. They feel a little bit more sturdy,
feels more
and they're obviously
premium, right?
bigger. Yeah. Then again, I'm not a kid, so I've got a little bit bigger hands. So
Yeah.
having a slightly bigger controller definitely helps. But I mean, unless I'm playing handheld, which is a minority of the time I play, I prefer the Pro controller because I'm going to be playing it docked the majority of the time.
I mean, I just like I was skeptical on the magnetic feature, but it's actually it's pretty crazy like how it works. It just locks right in.
Yeah.
There's no problems with it. I was worried about this particular part right here, like something happening with it, but I just if you take
I
care
think
of
it's
it,
just something people jumped on out the gate to try to like criticize it, like, oh, that looks bad. When you actually have it in here, you're like, it's not really all that bad or an issue you're really gonna think about, unless you're just
yeah.
being super clumsy with your Switch and throwing it around. In which case, yeah, you're probably gonna break it anyways.
And then I guess I did want to bring up that the eShop is much improved. It loads right away. It shows everything right
Yeah,
away, and it looks better.
the old one was bad.
Yeah, the old
It
one
looks and
was.
feels better.
Yeah, looks and feels better. It loads. It actually loads the images and games right away. There's no wait on it at all. The way they have it set up is better. I guess my other complaint, which you did bring up slightly earlier, was the UI isn't changed that much. I guess they didn't really need to. It was kind of like the Series X situation. Like the Series X it had the exact same, like it felt like if you had an Xbox One, it was exactly the same setup as an Xbox One. So like the Series
Yeah.
X, it transferred over to that console. So it was like, oh, I got a more powerful console. UI is exactly the same. Nothing's changed. At least on this, there's stuff that is changed, but if they didn't change it enough, I feel like. But again,
It's still using, like, the core mechanics. They just gave it, like, a new coat of paint, and it loads faster. Be a
yeah.
good way to explain it.
But I'm not complaining about it too much. I think it's fine. You
I just
know,
hope for more customization in the future because I thought that's what the
yeah,
Switch one was lacking,
the
and
dark and the white is
light mode,
ridiculous
yeah.
that there's no other themes and stuff. They got to throw that in there, but I guarantee they don't. But yeah, I mean, I guess that's our first impressions of the Nintendo Switch 2. Be sure to like, subscribe, leave a comment, let us know if you got a Nintendo Switch 2, and what your thoughts are on the console. And I'll definitely be back doing another video on the Nintendo Switch 2, a little more in depth, talking about it and stuff like that here soon, as well as the new pickups video. So definitely subscribe, stay tuned, and we'll see you all later. Peace,
Peace
guys.
out, everybody.